Hey folks! Due to technical limitations, it's going to be a mini episode. I was able to get some footage, but at some point during the game, this started happening. Yeah, and unfortunately it's just not realistic to go through a game at 1 frame per second. Anyways, with that said, let's get going. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the very start of the game. And in this scene, Conkers slashes through the Nintendo 64 logo with a chainsaw. But what's interesting though is that if you look below the platform that he stands on, the N64 chunks, along with the chainsaw occasionally, are stored underneath.
Marvelous.
In the file select hub pub area, you can see Conkers' reflection in the puddles before he enters the tavern. And like with many games in both the N64 and Future, the way they pull this effect off is to actually duplicate everything that's on the surface and just flip it upside down and put it underneath. Now here's an interesting fact: the throne room, where Conkers starts his story and starts narrating, is the same as the Panther Kings, because it was the Panther Kings. But with that said, there's a lot of scenes where it starts off in the throne room and ends up in the laboratory. And so at any given moment, the laboratory sits in the same load-in area as the throne room, and it rests directly above it. Also, that horrible glitchiness that you're seeing when you see the camera out of bounds is not a glitch. That was actually a choice by the developers. You see, some games do not refresh the frames when they go out of bounds, and so the effect that you end up seeing is a phantom image of whatever touched the void last. And that same rule applies to Barry's place. If you take the camera below Barry's room, you can actually see the tavern with no inhabitants and no lighting sitting directly below her. I guess Conker couldn't be bothered to use the stairs.
Ciao. Hi, Barry.
Conker, put the phone down. Right.
During the scene where Conker admits he had a little bit too much to drink and he's ready to head home, there's actually a Fire Imp off camera who also looks like he had a little bit too much to drink, and he's stuck in a walking animation but doesn't have a path in which to go anywhere. It's very likely that he was meant to be included in the shot, but for whatever reason was left out. So in case you didn't catch that, that texture that represents the Panther King's castle is actually directly below the throne room doors. And funny enough, when the lighting changes in this scene, the lighting changes on that texture, so what was once a dark and stormy night is now a bright and sunny day. And unfortunately that's all I got for now, which is also why I couldn't do a collaboration with it. As you can imagine, I'd have to divide up a total of 4 scenes between 3 people. Just wouldn't have worked out so great. But Beta64 and A+ Start are on board for a collaboration in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And we got a great poll for you this week. 2 major fan requests are finally being introduced: Splatoon and Xenoblade Chronicles. Have at it in the polls. And if you already decided to drop me a comment and you want to have a discussion with this week's episode with other people who watched it, check out the fan-made Reddit page or the fan-made Discord, with links provided down below. And to make up for this really short episode, I'm going to also do a live stream. Go ahead and give me any suggestions on episodes I've done in the past that you'd like for me to revisit live. But alright guys, I'm going to take off. Take care.